You know what's honestly the most exhausting role you can play in a relationship? Being the understanding one. It is so incredibly draining because when you are the understanding friend or the understanding person in someone's life, you somehow become the dumping ground of their bad behavior. There's this thing that I do where I weaponize my own empathy against me. I see someone that I care about being a bit distant or snappy or genuinely just constantly letting me down. And this is not like about like one-off thing. This is like constantly one after the other, one after the other. That is just their behavior. And instead of being mad, to which I honestly should be, and you should be too, because you're entitled to be mad if someone treats you badly, I genuinely just instantly just go into therapist mode. I used to do this thing constantly, basically. I had this mental translation app running basically 24/7. Someone would, I don't know, say something genuinely out of line to me, and I would run it through my little app in my head and go, okay, they didn't mean that. What they actually meant is maybe they had like a bad week at work or something happened. Maybe there's just something that I don't see or don't know. I was basically full-time doing like mental gymnastics all the time just to make their bad behavior make sense to me. I felt like I really wasn't allowed to, I don't know, be upset because I understood, right? Like I got it. I do understand why you're acting that way. So why am I mad? Because I get it, right? Everybody has some bad days, which is true. I also have bad days, and that is completely fine. Repeated bad behavior, that on the other hand, this thing that we've just been talking about, I did this thing with someone very close to me that I really cared about a lot. They were always bringing this like heavy, chaotic energy into my life, and they would constantly just either cancel on me or being snappy or being a bit, mean sometimes. And I never really, I don't think I've ever like called them out on it because I knew their backstory. I knew where they came from. I know their traumas. I knew everything. So I said, yeah, it's okay, they've been through so much. Like it's just normal to get, affected by these things. So I kept making myself smaller and smaller and smaller to kind of accommodate and make up for their mess. Now I know I'm not the only one in this. I hope I'm not. What is the excuse you catch yourself having for people? If you do, what is it for you? What is like your go-to script? Is it like, I don't know, they have a lot of thing going on right now, or that's just who they are? So honestly, let me know because I'm honestly very curious. Here is a thing that I had to learn the hard way. Brace yourself. Just because you understand why someone is hurting you does not mean that you have to stay there to take it. And let's say that again together, okay? Just because you can trace their bad behavior to a root cause does not mean that you have to stand there and get basically shot at. Empathy is a really, really, really beautiful thing. It truly is. I live by it. It's something that I am probably the most proud trait that I have, is the fact that I have empathy and I can understand a lot of things. I can understand why people act the way they act, and I can have empathy and sympathy. But when you constantly use empathy to kind of like explain away the disrespect, you aren't helping them. And you're not helping yourself either. You are teaching them that your boundaries are something either non-existent or optional. You're basically looking at this person and saying your past trauma or your current stress is more important than my current well-being. And I know how this feels. I know. It feels like if you finally pull back and set the boundaries, it like you abandon them. That's how it feels. It feels like, oh, well, if I've been doing this so far, what if they feel abandoned? Which, you see, you're doing that thing again, I'm doing that thing again, it's done again and again and again. You sit there and basically think that, oh, but I'm the only one who gets them, right? I am the one who gets them. And if I get them, that's good. The thing is, you know how I always say that giving grace is very important, and it is, because we're all messy and flawed, and have our shortcomings. But it's a massive difference between a friend having a bad day and a friend who relies on your endless patience so that they never have to do the work themselves. You can look at someone, understand their pain truly, and still say, I really love you, but I can't be standing here and being spoken like that. You don't have to stop being a deeply empathetic person. You don't. That is not the solution. This is kind of like your superpower, but you do have to stop treating your own feelings that like an inconvenience or like something that it can just be brushed over just because you get it. Next time you catch yourself kind of like writing a whole backstory or excuses for people who treat you badly, take a deep breath and acknowledge what is happening and what you're doing. And take a step back. Ask yourself if you would let them treat someone else like that, if you were to witness that, and if you were to let those people act like that towards someone else. Because that, which is a weird thing, the way we make sense of other things is to think if that would happen to someone else. We never think if that happens to me, because you're always used to tank everything and to be like, oh, I'm fine, that's completely fine. So when it comes to you, you kind of lose that sort of lens. If you can somehow put this from the perspective of, oh, this happens to someone close to me, then that makes sense, that you understand that. It's interesting, isn't it, how we have a different lens and different perspective and different filters when it comes to ourselves, and we're more permissive if it comes to us, but not as permissive if it comes to something else, because we know we can handle it. But that's a topic for another video, I feel like. If you need a gentle reminder from time to time, or if you need someone who gets you or who is here for you, hit that subscribe button and stick around. I feel like here on this channel we navigate a lot of the stuff together and it feels less lonely, and I really love having you guys here. I really do. Take care of yourself as always. Thank you very much for hanging around once again, and I'll see you in the next one, okay? Bye.